Good morning, everyone. I'm going to have to project my voice here because yesterday I had a microphone and today I haven't, so I'm going to project my voice. There's only two things that I want to cover with you in relation to leadership. First and foremost, whether or not you actually are a leader, okay, because some people are more suited for leadership, some people are more suited for management. And secondly, if you are or you move towards leadership, the one thing that you have to be able to do is to influence people. Influence is absolutely critical. So I am going to give you a little test this morning. It's only a fun one, right? Which will show you how to get into the mindset of another individual and speak basically on the same page, at the same level. It's how you can click in their communication style. And this is absolutely critical for leadership, because if you cannot influence, you will never be a great leader. You won't even be a good leader. Alright? So to start off, I want to draw your attention to these two little pictures here. Okay? The railroad and the internet. What do they have in common?
Largest network.
Sorry?
Largest network.
Largest network? Yep. Anything else? What does the railroad and the internet have in common?
Connectivity.
There's a whole lot of things that have in common. Definitely the largest internet, definitely connectivity, but something else that both of them present. Huge opportunity. Back in the 1850s, when the railroad was introduced in America, it changed everything. That is exactly what the internet is doing right now. It's been doing it for the last 5-6 years, but it's really gathering pace now. And it has really pushed leadership and communication right to the very, very top of the agenda in a subject which I would call social intelligence. How you can connect with people, not just face to face, but now over the internet, is absolutely crucial. If someone had told me in my own training business, by the way, I have an Irish accent, but I live in England. Okay, I'm originally from Northern Ireland. If anyone had told me, even 2 years ago, that I would be doing 95 to 90, probably even 98% of my one-on-one coaching online, I wouldn't have believed them. Because I wouldn't actually have believed that you could do one-on-one coaching without actually meeting the person physically. But I am coaching people all over the world online. Now, your ability to influence and connect, if you're doing it without even physically meeting someone, is a different set of skills. So I'm going to give you one little tool today that's going to quickly help you connect with anyone you either meet or don't meet, even talking to them over the internet. It's one of the most valuable tools I've ever come across in my life. But first, I'll take you back to leadership, just for literally 10 minutes here. One of the things about being a leader is you have got to know yourself. You've got to know what your emotions, your strengths, your weaknesses, your drives. So you need to know how you think. The quality of your thinking and how you can move into someone else's thinking pattern is absolutely crucial to influence. Take a look at this picture of a red tulip. It's a little bit unclear, but it's a red tulip in a field of yellow tulips. Now, if no one has ever said to you before, imagine yourself to be a tulip, play along with me today, because I'm about to ask you that. I'd like you to imagine that you're that red tulip in the field of yellow tulips. I don't want you to describe the tulip, I want you to imagine that you are that tulip. What is the first thought that comes into your head? And what's any emotions? What's the first thought when you're that tulip? What do you think?
It is different from
No, not it is different. I am different. You're the tulip. I don't want you to describe the tulip.
I'm different.
I am different. Any other thoughts?
I'm above all.
Sorry?
I'm above all.
I'm above all.
I'm the only one.
I'm the only one. Any other thoughts?
I'm the best.
I'm the best.
I'm the best. The women are going for it here. Come on, who are the men? What other thoughts?
I'm the God.
I'm
The God.
the God. I'm going for it. Come on, the men are letting
I'm
themselves
the
down. I'm the leader. All right. Okay. Believe it or not, this little picture really determines whether or not you're really interested in leadership or whether you're interested in management. And let me tell you why. If you want to be a leader, you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. You have to think differently. You have to be very content to be different from everyone else. You have to stick your neck out, you have to take risks. So if you are not happy being red in the picture of yellow, then that might be telling you something. Because, really, you have to focus on whether you're going to be big picture or operations. This is the way leaders need to think, okay? You need to be focused on all leaders are focused on results, not activity. You need to be looking up and out of the organisation, not just down and in. But the most important thing about leadership and the most important emotion of leadership is that you have to be comfortable feeling fear. And if you said, I'm on my own, why am I not yellow? Why am I different? Why is everyone else not like me? Maybe you're not really interested in leadership. Maybe you're more suited to be a manager. And that is really, really important that you decide that, because not everyone can be a leader. Not everyone's cut out for it. And the most important thing that I think people need to work out straight away is what is your preference. Okay? Because it's just not sensible to try and push yourself into something that maybe isn't for you. Okay? Just to give you the differentiation here of the tasks, one of the things that you need to be very, very clear about as well in terms of the difference between leadership and management. And I was asked this question yesterday and it really created a big debate. Are leaders born or are leaders made? Well, my answer to that is leaders are born first. And I generally believe that leaders can be made. However, and I do have an however, I do think that some people are more suited to leadership than others. And I think there's a baseline, and that's why I'm saying to you, if you're not happy being a red tulip, maybe you wouldn't be a good leader. Because you're fearful of standing out. You're fearful of doing things different. You're maybe not confident. One of the things leaders have to do, for example, if you're sitting in a meeting, what if you have an opinion, but no one else in the room agrees with that opinion? A measure of your self-confidence is, will you speak out even when no one else agrees with you? So that's why you have to manage fear in leadership. Okay? Here's the differences in tasks. We did an exercise in this yesterday, but for time purposes this morning I'm not going to do this. These are all the tasks that managers carry out. These are all the tasks that leaders carry out. Very different tasks. And that's why I have an opinion around, can you be a manager and a leader at the same time? Well, maybe you can, but they're very different tasks. One of the things that leaders must do at the moment is read the environment. Read what's going on outside your organisation, because leaders need to anticipate and see change coming and then change the organisation to actually work with it. Whereas managers just manage the change. Leaders have to see it coming. Leaders have to be very, very big picture. They have to take risks and they have to scan the environment. Okay? And this is the fundamental reason why I think it is so difficult to be both. And this created a lot of debate yesterday because people thought that, or people still agree. I put my hand up on this and say 50-50. Some people grow themselves up through the organisation to become leaders. And I've seen that happen. But more than enough, I don't think that you can possibly be these two or be brilliant at both at the same time. And that's my argument around leadership and management. I think some people are better suited to either or. Some people make brilliant leaders they're not so good at management. Some people make brilliant managers, but if you step them up into leadership, they're not good at it. I've seen time and time again, back even in the UK, there are so many people take leadership positions but don't do the job. They are actually behaving as managers. That's worse. I would prefer, no, you didn't take the job. There's nothing as bad as an ineffective leader who behaves or does a job at a lower level. So if you look at these traits, management's all about order, certainty. Look at leadership. It's all about risk-taking and uncertainty, ambiguity. Ambiguity is uncertainty. How can you be both at the same time? And maybe in the medical world, there are circumstances where it depends on the situation. Maybe even in the real world, there are circumstances where it depends on the situation. But I genuinely believe that you need to understand yourself and which is more you. And I think that's the key. Okay, if there are probably people sitting in here that are aspects of both, and I accept that. But I genuinely don't think that you can be brilliant at both. You're better suited to one or the other. Alright? It's rare that you get a brilliant manager who's also a brilliant leader. Usually it's a little bit of either. So, the biggest thing that's happening at the moment, and I'll take you straight into this little skill, is that most hospitals are designed for the 19th century. Most doctors don't know how to share power, and most patients with complicated problems don't receive coordinated care. That's straight from the Harvard Business Review. Hospitals, the whole health industry, both in the UK and here, are going through major change. And that change is not going to go away. So, top of the agenda is your ability to influence. Because if you're going to bring about change, either as a manager or either as a leader, you need influence. Healthcare's new leaders will need to be able to organise people into teams. It used to be your performance was about how you did, but now it's really about how the patients and how you apply financial and behavioural incentives, how you can improve processes. So your whole role has completely widened. Alright, it's not just about being a lone specialist anymore, it's about how you bring together teams of people. So that again pushes influence to the very top of the agenda. So, let's give you this little tool on influence, something practical that you can go away with. What I'd like you to do is take a look at this chart, and I'd like you to say the colour, not the word. And that might be a little bit harder to see in here. So down this side, instead of actually reading the word, if you were reading the word, that would be yellow. If you're saying the colour, believe it or not, that's green. So it would be green, yellow, red, black, green, blue. If your brain allows you to say the colour easily, you're more right-brained. If your brain allows you to read the word, or forces you to read the word, you're more left-brained. Have you heard of the concept left brain, right brain? Right, well, this is a little model of what they call whole brain thinking. You know the way sometimes when you're speaking to someone, you just click with them, you get on with them real easy, and then sometimes you're speaking to someone else and you just they're not even on the same page. It's just, it's not happening. This model will explain why. This model and this little tool that I'm going to give you will allow you click with anyone. This will show you why you can influence very, very quickly. So, what we're looking at here, and all I need you to remember, is this left brain and right brain, and then there's people that use their head and people that use their heart. Okay, that's all I need you to remember at the moment. There's a very, very famous guru called, you might have heard of him here, but in the UK he's very famous, a guy called Daniel Pink. And Daniel Pink has said that because of the way, the pace of change, because of the internet, and because of the way basically globalization has moved stuff, right-brainers will rule the world. Your ability now to influence is dependent on being more right-brained than left-brained. So what we're going to do in this little test is we're going to check out whether you are right-brained or left-brained. Before we do it, right, I just need to point out something to you. You can become more right-brained by practicing the thinking. Okay, so you're not, if you Unfortunately, if you come out left-brained, I do not want you to leave here very sad. I don't want you to think that you won't be a ruler of the world, right? Because you can actually learn how to be mentally flexible from left brain to right brain. But you need to know where your starting point is. Okay? So, 2 parts of the brain here, the right, the left. This is a model for thinking. Using your head, the cerebral, using your heart, the limbic. Okay?